Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Racing League All-Star Night, presented by Sailor Tarot Magic from Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. This is going to be a fun one here tonight from this short track. No points on the line. It is all for glory and a little bit of cash. These guys are going to have a fun time out here in the Xfinity cars around this short speedway. My name is Adam Baker. I'm here with Alec Martinez bringing you the action here tonight. Alec, I know you're in the car getting some laps in before your first heat race. How do you feel about tonight's race and these guys battling it up here tonight?
I feel like it's going to be good. This track seems to be pretty racy. It seems to be, there's some lines everywhere. So be curious to see how it goes. I know track position's probably going to be a little bit harder to get, but you're going to have to be aggressive. And like you said, it's all for money and really bragging rights. So you can probably get away with some stuff, probably use some people up, kind of, I don't know what you want to call it. I guess be a little more rougher if you really want to. And it's only 15 laps. I only get 15 laps of track time, and I'm excited for it. I haven't raced against these guys in a while, but excited against track time. But I think this race is going to be really fun. It's only 100 laps. It's a sprint, so it'll be very interesting to see how the race goes and plays out.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Like you said, 15 lap heat races, and we will have a 100 lap feature event here tonight. Let's show you a little bit of information about the track here in the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Now sponsored by Lucas Oil. Opened in 1970. This track just under 3/4 of a mile at 0.686, 12-degree turns, 2-degree front and back straightaway, and is a 4-corner oval. As you can see, this is a pretty flat racetrack. Going to be a very challenging one. The outside line should be king here tonight, so we'll see how that all shakes out. Drivers going to be fighting for that groove. As it looks like we should have some action on the racetrack. Let's go to see who is out there right now. Like we've got our first heat race possibly, or maybe it's just qualifying.
No, we got qualifying, and there we go. We got some guys coming. There's Brody Hayes. Guy very good on short tracks here, and I think I expect him. He's been one of the best qualifiers all year. He's won a couple poles. I expect him to be pretty decent here. Might be able to get the pole here. I wouldn't put it past him here and start on the front row of his heat race. Obviously, you have to win your heat race and make spots up to qualify good for it. But I think Brody, one of those guys that I see having no issue when it comes to qualifying.
Yeah, definitely a fast driver, especially on the short tracks and the flat tracks. A couple things to note for tonight's race. So we do have those 15-lap heats. The feature race is 100 laps. Look at Brody Hayes, big slide out of 4 there, but still going to have a nice lap time, just 9/1000ths off the pole time. Jeff Wright currently the quickest. We do have a halfway break in the 100-lap feature. Yeah, and there's also only going to be one set of tires, so you're going to want to use that possibly to your advantage and be strategic for when you use it. Make sure you have enough time to actually take advantage of it. So we'll see what drivers elect to do. As Seth Hatchell goes to the top of the boards, and Jeff Wright is going to call it there. Not able to go faster than that. Hatchell with a 22:13.
And this practice, this qualify happening, you can see sunset. This race will eventually. Is there lights here?
It looks like we've got lights.
Yeah, there will be. This will turn into a night race, so this will be very interesting here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how. I'm gonna actually roll on the track because I feel like it.
We got a few drivers still out there on the racetrack getting their lap times in. Joshua Banks, who won last week's event, the longest race of the season. He was able to strategize it perfectly when it went green for 200 laps straight. Fuel. Yeah, he saved fuel, was able to hold off a hard-charging Jeff Wright, who ended up winning the regular season championship. And we'll see if Joshua Banks, who is also notoriously good on these short tracks and flat tracks, is able to go 2 in a row with the longest race of the season.
That's great. And I really think he'll find a way to get himself up there. Is everybody qualified now? You know what? I'm gonna hop on the track out if you want to take a look, and I'll just show you. Want to go on board, and this is really how I've noticed you want to attack this track as we'll get it going here. And you're starting your lap, you're on cold tires, so you kind of want to build up the pressure. Don't hit the wall. You got to go up high if you want to get some speed here. So you'll see guys kind of swoop it down, let it come up the straightaway, and then you're hard on the chip into one. You're gonna go nice and easy, kind of let it drift up a little bit, and that's maybe a little bit too much there, but you can see this track is very, very tough on tires, very hard on tires, and I don't know how Jeff Wright turned to one. I think I tapped the wall, but we're all good. And right here, this is about the part of the track where you want to get as much grip as you can. See if you can get the power down. You'll slide the rear end around a lot, but if you can get it down, it'll work out pretty good. And that's P2 lap time. I don't know how Seth turned a 22-1, but tell you what, man, this track, very fun. It's very challenging, but man, it's fun and it's fast. But the good thing about it being so fast is send it too fast.
Yep.
You get the wall. But this track is so fun. You got to be up by the wall. You got to slide the car around to be fast, and you got to really work on the wheel. And I think this track here provides a lot of tire wear, and that's going to be something, like you said, with so much, I guess, I don't know, with only one set, there's a lot of tire games that are going to be able to go on, and that's going to be something you have to look out for during that, I guess, feature is when do you use those tires? Because what if you stay out on the first 50 laps? What if you stay on that pit stop? You get a 25, 30 lap run. Caution comes out. Yeah, you have 20 laps to push, but you have 20 laps fresher tires. So that'll be. I don't expect, unless you spin or crash on the first part of the race, I don't expect you to take that set of tires. And even if you do spin, I don't expect people to take tires.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to hold on to that track position with 20 drivers in the field tonight. You don't want to fall all the way to the back of that, and that will definitely set you off on the wrong foot. So trying to hang on to the front of the field is going to pay dividends as long as you can do that and not get run over, on older tires. So Seth Hatchell currently showing fastest on the boards. Alec, you go to second there, so you'll be in, I believe.
No, it was Heat 2.
Yeah, the second heat here. But yeah, should be a very entertaining one here tonight. I was going to just pull up the point standings for the drivers in the chase. So this was all settled after last week's race. The top 12 drivers going to be headed into the chase for the cup. They'll compete for the championship. Jeff Wright with 4 wins leads the standings, and he will lead the seeding there going into next week's race. So Jeff, who's been really on the top of his game here the last few seasons, once again going to the top of the regular season standings, and he'll have a shot to maybe get an all-star win here tonight as well.
And I said it last week, of all the people they don't want to give momentum to, that was probably the guy not to. And right there, look at that 16-point gap over Bailey Turner. Obviously, he doesn't want to get in a wreck at Atlanta, but these guys have their work cut out for him to gain points on Jeff. Going to need Jeff to have a bad race or two to really give himself a chance. But Jeff's looking really good for his second championship. And here we go. There's 3 heats. Ah.
Yeah, very interesting how they split it up here.
How about that?
Only got 5 cars showing on track right now.
Of course, I got to go against Bailey. That's a shame.
It'll be Hatchell and Samard as we get rolling here. So let's take a look at the driver info for who's in this race. Hatchell's going to roll off from first. Samard will be starting from the second position. Max Cost, he'll roll off from the third spot. Fourth will be Ray Massey, and fifth, rounding out the field in the first heat, is going to be Dennis Faircloth. These guys going to go head-to-head for 15 laps. See if Hatchell, who was very quick there in qualifying, is able to go on and win this first heat race. But Chris Samard and these guys going to give him a run for his money.
Can't say I've seen a heat where there's only three different heats. I don't mind it. I think that's pretty good. Seth, Chris is going to be a good battle. I think even Ray Massey, who knows, maybe Max Cost, Dennis Faircloth can keep it going. I mean, this is kind of weird to ask, but who do you got winning this heat?
Oh, I got Seth Hatchell.
I think Ray Massey. I don't like Ray Massey. I think there's a chance. Yeah. I think Seth's going to be really good, but I mean, who knows? Chris, Chris, no slouch on short tracks either.
Yeah,
so.
and he's got the outside.
Laps.
Those guys have the outside lane on this start, so that could be an advantage.
I really hope there's no cautions, because I will be door banging Bailey Turner.
I'm not sure they have the cautions on or not. Well, I guess we'll find out here in this first one if they get to reckon at any point. But Pace Truck pulls it down onto pit lane. It's going to be the VSPEED teammates of Hatchell and Samard getting us going for heat race number 1 in the Sailor Tarot Magic All-Star Night. Green flag in the air. We're off and away from IRP.
Great restart there. A great start from Seth Hatchell now. Battles for second. You got Massey, Samard on the, Cost on the inside, and that VSPEED car, 63, moving up to the field. This could be for a good starting spot here. No matter where you get your spots, you got to get them now. And Cost on the bottom of Massey here. But Chris Samard challenging Seth Hatchell. Remember, 15 laps. You give it all you can get, really.
Yeah, Samard, really good run out of 2. Not quite as good a run out of 4. Look at Dennis Faircloth. He's up in the wall.
Oh. Gets it there all good. He hangs on to it there. That's going to cost us some time, especially with these two battling ahead of him. You need to get these spots.
Yeah,
Time to start separating themselves away here.
Yeah, Hatchell, Samard knows the tail. Look at Chris Samard all over the back bumper of his teammate.
Yeah, look, Max Cost getting the lead, or getting third from Ray Massey into off of 4. And how about this battle for the lead? I tell you, Adam, this track is wide. I like it.
Yeah, they're using the middle groove. They're using the top groove, and it is working for both of these drivers. Yeah, low entry, kind of drifts up, trying to diamond that corner, get that exit.
Ooh, Chris got a little high there.
Yeah, up in maybe the marbles. Is again, Faircloth's just
Oh,
brush on the wall. He is pushing it back there in 5th place.
These cars, you know, oh, there goes Chris in the wall there. Yeah, these cars, that lighter gray area in the corner without the rubber there are a lot of marbles up there. You overstep that line, you're gonna probably find yourself in the wall. But we know these cars, composite bodies, they're tough. They'll be fine, and usually they'll keep it pretty clean. I mean, it just depends. But man, yeah, these guys slipping, sliding around here. I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, good start
This
to the night.
lap feature, it's going to be in the night. It's going to be, tracks are completely different. I mean, look at the weather right now. It's 83 degrees. When we get the green flag for the actual race, it's probably going to be what? I don't know.
75 or something?
80 degrees?
Yeah,
maybe
80
degrees, maybe 79. So
yeah.
the track's going to change. I really hope there's lights. I can't say I've ever seen a night race here. I think they have lights. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I know in real life they did.
I think, yeah, they used to run here at night in the truck series. And I think the lights are on the infield side of the racetrack instead of the outside. So that's probably why we're not really seeing them here as we go around. But Chris Simard still trying to reel in the teammate there, not quite able to close up at the moment. They were basically dead even in terms of lap time. Just 1/100th separating them. Simard a little quicker. And then Max Kost running a 22.77. Nice solid lap time from the driver of the 63.
And Hatchell's starting to slowly but surely, I think he's starting to slowly but surely pull away, knowing, you know what, I gotta get enough pace here. So, Max Kost is holding off Ray Matz right now. Max is kind of struggling here, and as we were talking about lights, the lights, I believe, just came on.
Yeah, there they are, just turning on as we head down back into turn number 3. Simard still trying to close up that gap right around 3 car lengths as they work off of turn number 4. And Chris has now moved down a little ways. He's trying to get the clean air on the exit of turn number 4, and he's using the high groove here on 1 and 2.
It's more like of a diamond. I like that I see guys searching around for grip. I think that's going to make this All-Star race very entertaining here. Is battle for thirds going on. Cost and Massey going at it. Mustang and a Camaro. Super right behind them. Well, yeah. I think Dennis got up into the wall again. Oh, Ray, big slide there out of 4.
Yeah, I think Dennis really just trying to widen the racetrack a little bit more. And we can see there's already so many scrapes along the outside of the track. All these drivers catching the wall a little bit in practice, qualifying, and right here in the heat race.
Simard. Oh, Max Kost, good run for him. And like I said, Simard running Hatchell down here.
Got a little bit.
Did a good job.
Yeah, I think Simard got a little too wide out of 4 last time around. He had closed it up to under 4/10 of a second, but it's now back up to almost a half second. And Kost, yeah, hanging tough, but he's in the wall.
Here comes Massey. Will he be willing to throw a slider? I think that's going to be one of those ways you're going to have to see guys pass here. Throw slide jobs. Although right now, Massey kind of getting underneath Kost, but that bottom end, his tires wear, gets a little worse. Although, Kost slides up, captures the right rear against the wall. Here comes Massey back down to the bottom.
What's he able to do here? Working out at turn number 2.
Jump the cushion out. Kost back up to the outside here. With 5 cars, this has been a pretty good little battle here. And Massey slides up. I think the bottom seems to be a little bit better in 3 or in 1 and 2. This time off of 4, not looking as good. And these two battling. Faircloth has gained about a second already. Oh, Kost gonna get up into the wall. Can he cross him over? Massey gets the spot, but Kost with the crossover down on the bottom.
Look at him all the way on the apron. 3 laps to go. Ray Massey takes the spot for the moment.
Lost a little bit too much. Too
much
ground there hitting the wall.
Maybe a little wide there on exit. Oh, Kost just a little bit too quick to the throttle. Almost got into him. As the top 2 are long gone. Hatchell out in front by about 4 car lengths, maybe 5, as they work back in turn number 3, coming back to the white flag. He's been the class of the field so far tonight from what we've seen, but we still have 2 more heat races as white flag is in the air. Hatchell gonna get that one and try and hang on here for the last lap as Kost in the wall. Here comes Faircloth, gonna try and take the 4th position.
And he's gonna get to the bottom. Slide job. Kost cross him over. Try, but I think this time not going to be enough. Kind of maybe burn the tires off, maybe a little bit too much damage. Although he slides down the backstretch. Kost Faircloth gonna take that line away from Max Kost, and Seth Hatchell will win heat number 1. Then Chris Simard, Barry Massey, look at that big slide for Dennis Faircloth 4th, and Kost falls back to 5th. And I'm sure these drivers learned a lot, especially the guys battling. How are you going to make passes? How are you going to get track position? And well, that's heat number 1, and that means, oh boy.
That means you're up, Alec, and we'll leave you to it here. So good luck down there, and
Appreciate it.
hopefully you learned a little bit there watching those
I
guys.
will be leaning on Bailey Turner, ladies and gentlemen. So please keep an eye out on that.
We will keep an eye on that battle for sure. It'll be Alec Martinez rolling off from the top spot in this one, and then it'll be Bailey Turner starting from the second position. Angelo Ronas going to be rolling off from the third position. He's kind of been the exhibition race master here over the last few seasons. He's gotten a bunch of these exhibition wins, so look for Angelo to charge up here and challenge these top two. Caleb Weekly going to roll off from fourth. Alan Dice going to start in the fifth position in the number 5 machine. So another 5-car field means we should have quite a bit more in the third heat race, unless we're getting 4 heat races, which may be the case. But we will see how things go in this one. The 54 and the 24, as we'll pull up the track temperature. It's already dropped to 1 degree since the previous race. Going to be that much more grip for these guys as they continue to see the sun set. Make sure to cheer on your favorite drivers in the chat. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy tonight's race. We do want to thank all the sponsors of this series. You'll hear from them during the halfway break of the race or during some caution breaks, but so many great sponsors of the Below the Double Yellow Racing League, including tonight's presenting sponsors, Martin Sports and Sailor Tarot Magic. It'll be Alec Martinez and Bailey Turner leading the charge in heat race number 2. Angelo Ronas and Caleb Weekly behind them. Alan Dice in the 5th spot. Green flag is out. We're off and away from Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Martinez sends it down into turn 1. Not quite able to clear the 24 of Bailey Turner. Here he comes charging on the outside. Good stuff here side by side. A little bit of a slide job. Here comes the 24 trying to cross and back over. Great drive out of 4. Martinez a lead at the line by a nose. And Angelo Ronas is all over the back bumper of these two. Bailey Turner trying to do the same thing. Maybe a little bit of rub in there out of turn 2. Angelo Ronas big slide. The slot back in to the top lane. Really good battle for the lead here. Lap number 2 almost over. Martinez still alongside with the nose out in front. Angelo Ronas will watch from on board as these two continue to fight for the top spot. Alec almost able to clear. Bailey Turner not going to jump up to the top side, still working the low line, and he's got a nice drive through the center of 3 and 4. He's got the advantage now across the stripe. Bailey Turner to the top of the pylon, and he is going to try and push Martinez up the hill. Not quite able to do it, and now Alec will be able to clear, so Bailey Turner goes from leading at the stripe to fully in the 2nd spot. And Alan Dice back here in 4th, out in front of Caleb Weekly. Just hanging tough as these top 3 started to pull a few car lengths over him. Caleb Weekly hanging strong here as well, though. Everybody within about a 1/10 and a half in terms of lap times. Very competitive here in heat race number 2. Not quite the spread as Alec gonna get turned by the 24 Bailey Turner. Turner doing the turning in turn 4. Say that 4 times fast. Alec Martinez though able to hang on, and Bailey Turner gonna slot back in line. Angelo Ronas all over the back of the 24 now. He may pull the same move. Bailey just got in there really hot. The back of that Toyota Supra. We are reaching about the halfway point. Very close call. Would have been our first wreck of the evening. Now Martinez about a car length and a half out in front with the clean air. And he start to pull a little bit more of a gap as these guys all pretty well spaced out. A car length or so between each driver. And lap 8 now on the board. And not quite the run out of turn number 2 that Alan Dice would have liked to see there. Is Caleb Weekly going to close in, try and get another position? quite able to close up enough. Bailey Turner trying to mount another charge, but he is losing a little bit of ground as this race goes on. Everybody kind of into a rhythm. It looks like the tires have heated up. Going on board here with Angelo Ronis as he rides in 3rd position. Looking up at the top 2, Bailey Turner, of course, 2 wins this season. Enters into the chase. 2nd in points. Angelo up there in the chase as well. He'll be fighting for a championship and looking to try and get another all-star win, as he has gotten 1 or 2 in the past. So won the Clash a couple of times. So Angelo's been looking for that first points-paying win. Although it is possible he may have gotten one last year. I didn't call the races last season. I think I might have recalled him seeing one, but also very competitive over in the Saturday Night Racing League, as hearing some cars with some issues at the back. That may be Caleb Weekly making some contact with the outside wall, but he's having connection problems. 5 laps to go. We'll make that 4 laps to go, as Alec Martinez now almost 7 tenths out in front. Bailey Turner losing a bit of ground through 1 and 2. Starting to feel that pressure from behind. Angelo Ronis, who's been keeping steady right there in 3rd position. 3 laps to go. Nice clean race once they got a little bit of that bumping out of the way early on. Really good battle for the top spot. Clean air is going to be so important when we get into our 100-lap feature event. Off turn 4, coming back to 2 laps to go. Martinez out in front by about 3 or 4 car lengths. Bailey Turner not quite able to do anything to close that gap. He's been maintaining. Send it down low. Try and cut the corner short, drift up, and cut back down on exit. If he picks up any time that way, at the very least, you can use this race as a learning experience. White flag in the air. And Martinez goes wide on entry. By a little bit wider than he would have liked to. But able to carry the momentum. A little contact with the back straightaway fence. Here comes Bailey Turner with the send. Not going to be close enough. And Alec Martinez will win heat race number 2. Bailey Turner comes home 2nd. Angelo Ronis 3rd. Alan Dice 4th. And Caleb Weekly to round out your top 5 in heat race number 2. Alec Martinez should join us back up here in the booth. I think he's already here.
How about that?
How about that? You led every single lap. Yeah.
That'll be the only laps I probably lead all night. Well, actually, it will be, because we're going to broadcast the race. Hey, there is 4 heat races.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if they're cutting them into 5s, I think we've got 20 drivers who took a time in qualifying. And
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Alec, I think you got a shot at a win here tonight if you decide you want to.
I'm broadcasting. I am broadcasting. I have dedicated my time to broadcasting, and we're broadcasting. Sometimes I need to remind myself, see, hey, do I still got it? And then sometimes I surprise myself.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me. I've raced against you. I know how good you are. So definitely good to see you get out there and stretch your legs a little bit. And what'd you learn out there for those 15 laps?
Oh, well, learn clean air is beautiful. That is for sure. But this track is changing. The line I was using, I'm not sure if it would work on the long run, but it seemed like it was able to hold Bailey off. The top, it kind of seemed like the top lane is going to be the dominant lane, especially for passing. If you're on the bottom, I think you're going to throw in some sliders. Might have to rush somebody up. I think that's going to be the way you're going to pass tonight. But I think no matter what, these guys are going to figure it out. So I am interested to see. You're not going 60, 70 laps on tires. You're going to go 50 probably on the first stint, but it'll be very interesting to see how this race shakes out. That was fun there. Appreciate Bailey racing me clean. I know he got into me. I almost spun. That was a good save. But,
yeah, definitely a great save.
It scared me a little bit, but that was a good time, and I enjoy doing that. Yeah, I missed it a little bit, but that was fun, and I'm looking forward to this race. This race is going to be very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, Jeff Wright, your points leader, 4-time winner this season, and a previous champion. He's going to be leading the field here. Justin Carey 2nd, Nick Gardner 3rd, Cody Atkins 4th, and Nick Starling to round out this heat race. As we get the green flag, heat race number 3 underway from IRP and Jeff Wright. Great start off into turn number 1.
Yeah, Jeff's going to be pretty good in this one. I think it's going to be very hard to beat. But this battle, hey, Kerry Atkins and Gardner and Starling, that's going to be a good battle from, I think, second to fifth here.
Oh, close call there as Gardner almost clipped the left rear. Cody Atkins able to get away with it. And here comes Nick Starling, and there goes Gardner around.
Gardner, he's going to hit the inside wall, and that's the first incident of the day. I think Nick's car is probably going to be fine for the future. Oh, no, caution. There is cautions.
Interesting. So that'll reset the field.
Caution laps do not count, so gotta reset, re-rack them, restack them.
Go back and take a look at what happened here.
That's why the heat races are always fun. Oh, it looks like, well, Nick on Nick violence there, I'm afraid.
It was. It's the Nick and Nick show gone wrong.
It is. Good.
Yeah, let's see here. He just came up out of the corner.
Got loose, yeah.
Yeah, Nick got a little bit loose, and then Nick got into him.
And
oh,
hit
man.
The inside wall there. Not a ton of damage. I'm be interested to see if maybe Gardner brings it down. I don't think he will. And Starling gonna go to the back here and give the UL to himself. But I think Jeff Wright's looking really good. Thank you, Bailey Turner. I appreciate you. But no, it was a good battle there with you. But yeah, what a race there. Second heat, and then the first heat was really good there racing. But again, like you said, that's the first wreck we have. There are lights that'll make this race even more interesting. This track is gonna very quickly cool down, and I'm curious to see what the track temp is right now. It's at 85. So
yeah, air temp continues to drop. It's gone down another degree or two since the last race. Track temp is about the same, but the air temp is definitely dropping, and the sunlight is fading. So these guys are definitely going to feel the track change even more throughout this race. Again, Jeff Wright going to lead us back to the start, and it'll be Justin Carey alongside. We'll see if he can get a little better restart this time.
There we go.
And maybe a touch better, but how about Cody Atkins now going to look to the inside for second position?
Spin of the tires there, I think. Carey's going to get second, and this the Nick and Nick show behind them. Let's get into each other again.
We did see Kyle and Kyle get into it the other day.
I saw that at Gateway.
Yeah, Gateway. So they're trying to replicate that, I guess. At least they have replicated it already. I don't know if they want to make more contact, but Nick trying to stay low. Nick Starling,
Nick
that is.
Getting a run on the outside.
We had a little tongue twister.
Either one you look at on Sunday, one of the Kyles caused it, right?
Yes, exactly.
It was Kyle's fault.
Yeah, it definitely was. We had a little tongue twister in race number 2 there, where Bailey got into you. We said Turner turned him in turn 4, and it's Justin Carey's going for a slide.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
he's got an issue.
We can take
going to the back, and now Starling going to get by.
Taking a look at the replay right now as he just got loose on entry.
Loose. Yeah, wow, set there pretty good. Wow, amazing job keeping it out of the wall. Unfortunately, he's going to fall back to 5th here, and those tires are going to be hot. Now he's behind both Nick Starling and Nick Gardner, so he's going to have a little bit of ways to go. Heck, you look, even IndyCar, the Marcus Armstrong, Marcus Ericsson.
Yeah, I was thinking that during that race too. It was just crazy how many times those guys were around each other. But Nick Gardner, a little run out of 4. Got a little bit tight there, and here comes Justin Carey right to the back bumper. And 16 with that right front damage now after catching the wall.
Probably not going to help. Oh man, Carey gets close to the back bumper. That gets loose now off of 2, now into 3. Gardner up the track. Here comes Carey to the bottom. Gardner going to give him a little bit of room, but he's got to get out of the gas here on exit. They're going to almost make contact door to door into turn number 1 now. Here comes Carey to the bottom. Slider. Gardner catches the wall into 1. Give Carey the spot back up to 4th. The Starling starts to drive away. Cody Atkins in 2nd. Jeff Wright cruising away a 2.5 seconds, 2 seconds almost over the 55.
A really strong run here from the 48 to be expected. He's been so strong all season, but Cody Atkins, really good run in this one, the Duke's Mayonnaise Machine. Just hanging tough here. No pressure out front or out back, and just trying to keep that 2nd spot under wraps. As Starling has pulled away by about 4 or 5 car lengths. And Justin Carey's now pulled a few car lengths out in front of Nick Gardner. So the position battle has settled out back here at the back of the field. And we got 5 more laps to go next time
props
around.
to Justin Carey as well. He fought for his playoff life last week. He's doing a good job. Made one mistake, unfortunately, costed him the chance, but been really solid season for this 21 team. And give props some love the patriotic scheme he's got there on that 21 car. Looked good like a scheme. Nick Starling, props to him as well. Barely squeaking into the chase. Obviously, be Cody Atkins, but man, really good job by both of these guys last week, putting good races together when the guys that were ahead of them had issues, and both these guys capitalized. Cody Atkins, I know, was one of those guys that unfortunately wasn't able to. He's going to be outside the chase, but talking to him, he doesn't really want to be in the chase because he knows it's going to be tough. That 13th, where there's I think there's a prize for non-chase guys, so he's looking to get that. So is Justin Carey, and then Nick Gardner, one of those other guys as well in that 16 car. Had a pretty solid season. I know he's still trying to get acclimated to the Xfinity cars, was racing trucks for a while, obviously working on at Hendrick, so he's, you know, a busy guy, but he's been able to keep busy on the IRC side as well, and he's been doing a good job. And I know Nick, he's a good driver. We've seen him do good in these Xfinity cars. He's going to pick it up eventually here, especially if we stay with them next season. I think Nick will be very good. And I think even closing races in the chase, I expect Gardner to be a factor in maybe a race or two. And I know Atlanta, good super speedway racer,
Yeah,
so
he really
Atlanta's going to be wild.
Yeah, many-time winner on the super speedways in both the Xfinity car and the Cup cars. So definitely a threat on those racetracks. Along with Nick Starling and Justin Carey, some of these other guys as well.
Oh boy, I'm noticing Jeff Wright doing what he did at New Hampshire, sending it bottom and then easing it onto the gas. And you'll watch it here. Look at this. Sends it way on the bottom.
Oh
way
yeah.
Down there. Cools the tires because so little of throttle on exit. And then he gets to run off. That might be an interesting strategy later tonight as the race goes on. Watching guys send it in really hard all the way to the grass and then letting it drift up. Although I don't know if that line's going to work here much. We'll see though.
Yeah, I think
these seems to be working pretty good here. As Wright's going to win the race, then Cody Atkins, Nick Starling, Justin Carey, Nick Gardner, and then we're on to Heat 4.
Yeah, on to the final heat. Jeff Wright though taking the win here, and like you said, that may or may not work. New Hampshire, the turns are a little bit bigger. This is a 2/3 of a mile racetrack, but the corners are a bit tighter than they are at New Hampshire. So another driver that's going to be
Brody.
Brody Hayes, Noah Mikowski, Joshua Banks
in here too.
Yeah, Lyle
Selfridges.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for it. We go to these guys here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. It'll be Brody Hayes, the number 37 machine, going off from the top spot. Noah Mikowski going to start in the Mikowski, yep, in the second position. Joshua Banks going to start from the third position. Lyle Selfridge and Lane Selfridge going to round out fourth and fifth. So
it's a pretty good heat. I like this. I think Banks and Brody Hayes, that's two good short track guys. So this will be a good battle.
Yeah, we've seen them duke it out at New Hampshire in the past a few times, as well as I think Martinsville. They've gotten into it, but they've been around each other so much this season. Banks, Hayes, and Turner, those three have really just been kind of all over each other all season long.
Yeah.
And Hayes,
this could be a good one.
Hayes is the only one of those three that hasn't gotten a victory yet, but he has finished second, I think, 3 or 4 times this season.
Yeah, he's been still good. He's like banging on the door for a win. I think it's coming soon. He kind of reminds me of Chris Buescher in the Cup Series, where he's just there. The win is it's there. It's just, can they put the race together to get it? And I think Brody's more than capable of doing it here, especially in the chase. There's a couple of short tracks, and I think Brody's going to be strong at. I know Martinsville's going to be one of those tracks. Him and Banks come to mind. Chicagoland, he's probably got a good shot at. Bristol, he's going to have a good shot at. I think, I mean, who knows? And as they say, on any given Sunday, but on any given Tuesday, any of these guys can win a race.
Yeah, it was so close for the regular season championship. Wright getting that edge by 2 points over Bailey Turner, and for a long time it was tied between Bailey Turner and Brody Hayes. I think it was like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They were, neck and neck, and really Jeff Wright had to claw his way from deeper in the top 10 in the standings, and eventually got up there, claimed that regular season championship in the final race. But I mean, it's just been so close, deadlock between a lot of these guys. As green flag is out for heat race number 4, and good start for Brody Hayes, good start for Noah Mikowski as well, who's had a very strong couple of seasons in that 03 machine.
He has. He's going to go to the bottom and or top, try to cross bottom, but I think Hayes will get the spot a little. Mahalski probably not going to let him go. We'll see what Banks is going to do. Is Hayes slides up. Mahalski gets close to the bottom. Here comes the 03. And I noticed he's always in the Mustang. Well, he's changed it to the Camaro. So good job, as I think Lane Sulfur just had a problem. Oh, big slide out of the 03.
Yeah, drifted it all the way up to the outside wall. How about this battle for third, though? Banks and Sulfridge fighting for it.
Well, Sulfridge doing a good job. Learning a lot being behind that 35. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, getting a good run there through 3 and 4. Banks, maybe a little connection problem. Been able to secure the third position. Top 2 have pulled away by a couple of car lengths. Hayes is really starting to stretch his legs.
He's starting to move right now. That last time, 22.3, that was 0.3 of a second faster than the 03. And right now, Banks on the bottom. I'm interested to see as we get this race going with everybody on the racetrack. Is the bottom going to be the way to go? We're going to see. I think we're going to see everybody on the top personally. But I mean, we saw Jeff, right? We're seeing Joshua Banks work that bottom.
Yeah, and these guys pretty even at this point. Lane Sulfridge is a little further back. I'm not sure if he started from the pits or maybe lost control of the car early on those first couple of laps, but he is about 8.5 seconds behind. I don't think he'll be a lap traffic issue.
No, and if he is, he'll. I know Lane. He'll probably get out of the way, no issues. So right now, I think top 4 not too bad. It's only 2 seconds separation. It's hard to really get wheel-to-wheel action when you have 5 cars on the racetrack, but it's just kind of another extended practice session. But at least it's a qualifying practice session. Each position you make is going to give you a chance to start higher in the grid, and this time Banks is rolling up on Mahalski, and he almost got into him.
Yeah, that was very close out of turn number 2. He's going to send it down in the inside of turn 3.
Banks has really gotten that bottom to work.
Yeah, he's getting hooked up now. I mean, they are losing some time to Brody Hayes.
Now that they're battling, yeah.
But yeah, even before that, he was starting to pick up the pace. And now a really good run out of turn 2. Nope, has to get out of the throttle a little bit, and there goes Michalski.
Tough if Mahalski can hold him down on the bottom. I just think, although Sulfridge closing up on this battle as well, it's going to be tough for Banks to really complete the pass without probably doing a slide job, because if the 03 holds him down there, it's going to be really hard for Banks to get to the throttle before the 03 does. And this time, look at this. Banks goes high, and now he goes to the bottom. Going to at least pull to the left quarter panel with Mahalski. And now he goes to the bottom. This time he's going to have to hook that yellow line.
This feels so much like local short track racing to see a guy work on another driver in front of him, for lap after lap, and then finally get a little bit of a run, and they start to make your way forward. But very similar to this, where we're kind of spaced out for most of this, this heat, but finally getting a battle.
Brody Hayes is long gone, but this is going to be a good battle for second here. And who I think we're going to finish the second. You're going to start 8th. So this is a good battle here. Got to make sure. Oh man, he's both sliding up here. Banks is going to try everything. I think if he can get under him, he's going to have to throw a slider into 1 or 3, and hope Michalski doesn't have enough to cross him over and at least pass him back. So this time though, Banks is going to be able to get maybe just underneath the 03.
There is always the bumper that can be used.
There is the bumper, but you got to save that for later in the race, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe heat race, it's not quite time for that. But here he goes now, diving down to the bottom, trying to get that run.
Although Bailey Turner tried that, so I don't
know. Yeah. On lap 4, mind you, as well, something like that. But
yeah, here comes Banks to the bottom again. He's faster than the 03. He's just sliding on I think the bottom. It's almost working. I think long run is. Oh my goodness! Yeah. Oh, he did a wall.
Try and cut it down the racetrack now after that slowed him up. He won't lose too much time, but does lose about a car length and a half.
Almost got into the back bumper of the 03. I think that's why he ended up putting it in the wall. He got too much brake locked at the left front.
Gonna be coming back to 3
laps figured out.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. The difference between about 8th and 12th starting position?
I believe so, yeah. That's 4 spots.
That's pretty important on a track this size, with all these cars that we're gonna have out here. Lyle Sulfridge
might be 6th.
Yeah, Lyle Sulfridge has started to fall off this battle a bit. Lane Sulfridge still out here.
Oh, Banks got loose on the bottom. Mahalski doing a great job holding off 35, but I think 35 now burned up that right rear a little bit too much, sliding it.
Yeah, I think he's just going to try and cool it down, and let's see if he can maybe get one last attempt at it, but I think he's out of... Oh, maybe not. A big slide into turn 3 right there.
Brody Hayes wanted to go here.
Yeah, white flag.
About time for that feature. Oh.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. I mean, we are just clicking laps off, 22, 23-second laps.
Well, this race is going to go by quick. I can tell you that. 100 laps, what are they turning? 15 or 23-second laps? Like 24 seconds on the long run. Oh!
Trying to do a reverse entry there, I think, into turn number 3. Brody Hayes going to win the heat. Michalski second. Joshua Banks trying to do a little bit of drift action here.
Third. Still celebrating from last week.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible race. Green flag for 200 laps, and he takes the win on a strategy call. And it's a really incredible execution on his part. As the Sulfridge brothers will come home 4th and 5th. And we're going to head to our feature race as we do head to the starting grid. I'm going to run a quick commercial reel. We will be right back.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Back at the racetrack, we're going to see if our starting grid is working here, and I think it will. Seth Hatchell.
The heat races. Let's go.
Yeah, Seth Hatchell is supposed to be rolling off from the front spot. He will be starting from the top position. Alec Martinez, you were supposed to be rolling off from second, but that is not going to be the case here tonight. You were joining me in the booth. It'll be Jeff Wright third. Looks like Brody Hayes will be moving up to from fourth to second. Chris Samard, Bailey Turner, Justin Carey, Noah Michalski, Max Cost, Angelo Ronis rounding out the top 10 on the starting sheet. Nick Gardner, Joshua Banks, Ray Massey, Caleb Weekly, Cody Adkins, Lyle Sulfridge, Dennis Faircloth, Alan Dice, Nick Starling, and Lane Sulfridge rounding out our field of 20 drivers. Minus one. Oh.
Seth Hatchell. No, I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. Seth Hatchell, I believe, is taking the UOL for an extra cash bonus.
Oh yeah, doing the challenge, the last to first challenge, I believe. So Hatchell going to the back here. We saw how fast he was in qualifying, how fast he was in the heat race. But this is going to be a big challenge.
Yeah, double or nothing here for the pole winner. So that's going to be a lot of money there for Seth Hatchell if he can get this going, as it'll be Jeff Wright, probably not the guy you want to have on the pole now, with Brody Hayes. So everybody moves up a row, as the front row will not be starting on the front row, and the second row becomes the first row. And I got to ask you, Adam, who's your pick?
Well, my pick now with this, the way that things shook out, Brody Hayes is going to be my pick.
I like that. I'm going to go Bailey Turner, short track guy. He's going to get it done as 100 laps, all-star night in America, BTDY style on a Tuesday night, short track style. Green flag is out. We're underway in the all-star race.
Oh, contact in the back of the field. Cost around.
Cost is around with Gardner, and there's our first caution on lap 1.
Didn't take very long for these guys to get together, but not a major incident. Just a couple of guys going around right there. Let's take a look at what happened. Saw Cost.
Seth Hatcher, gets to his teammate Weekly, and then, almost bounces out the 8, and then bounces into the door of the 16.
Yeah, Gardner getting a little bit of contact there. He's been involved now in the heat race and in the feature. Not really his fault in this one. Nowhere for him to go. on his own business up there, and the top side gets tagged by the 63. And Hatchell, like you said, maybe a little bit of contact. Not
He
sure.
looks fine. Short track, he'll be fine.
Yeah, a little rub there on the right side, but composite body.
Gosh, laps do count, I'm afraid. So this will be interesting to see. His laps going to click off quick.
And Brody Hayes was able to take the lead away during all of that. A really nice job by
Mahalski as well up there.
Yeah, the 37. Good start to this one. And Bailey Turner looks like he was able to maybe get a spot away. Chris Samard, who...
This track is good. I like this track. This track is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't actually ever called a race. I was telling you before, I didn't even own the track coming into tonight. I've seen a lot of races from when they would run the trucks here. You know, watched a lot of those on TV on Friday and Saturday nights, and I always thought it was one of the most entertaining ones to watch. And I love short track racing. This one reminds me so much of my home track here, Spencer Speedway in upstate New York. And yeah, little
look at this local short track plug.
Yeah,
the champion.
Yeah, and they're bringing super modifieds there in a few weeks, so that will be very exciting. I don't know if you're familiar with the super modifieds, but it's a mix between an Indy car and a modified. So they rip around these short tracks, but nonetheless, about to get back going here. It is Brody Hayes and Jeff Wright on the front row. Hayes going to get us started into the restart zone. Green flag back out. And a good jump for the 37.
Turner to the bottom of right. They're going to fan out about the 03 of Mahalski up to the outside of the 24 here of Turner. Going to get up to third. 03 got some speed. Here comes Angelo Ronas, the All-Star King, really, who's won 2 of the last 3 All-Star races. And Angelo's somebody you got to look out for. I think it was the Street Slacks last year.
I think so, yeah.
He got the win, and then the year before, I think the race before that was at Monza. It was Ben Backford, and then Angelo won the year previous to that. So won 2 of the last 3 right now. Got some speed. Oh, contact, Dyson Faircloth.
Yeah, they've been battling hard. They've been battling hard for a few laps. Yeah, I'd expect Joshua Banks to try and navigate his way around this, but you got to be a little bit patient at the start of this one. 100 laps. It's not a long race, but it's also not that short. You can't burn your stuff up immediately as he looks on the back bumper of the 80 of Faircloth. Starling and Carey behind him, trying to settle things out. We've gone single file now.
Everybody's on the top, that's for sure. Thing like Bristol here, but everybody on top. We'll see how much once tires fall off. We still got 40 laps more till the halfway break, so plenty of long run here to go. That if we go long, you're going to need to save a little bit of tire here. This track does eat them up.
Samard took a little peek there to the inside of the 23. Ray Massey not quite able to make it happen, but he's going to work down to the apron, trying to get that exit, not able to pull alongside. As the top 2 have pulled away by about 3/4 of a second. Mikowski in third, hanging on.
Touch with them not too bad, I will say. Turner about a half a second off of them, Ronas, and I think it's really from Turner all the way back to, oh my goodness, I don't know, Hatchell. No, even that, all the way to Gardner is stacked up. So on a 19 car field, I mean, you still got all 19 of them separated only by 6 seconds on this racetrack.
Definitely close racing here. Do you think there's going to be any tire saving?
I think it's possible.
Yeah, I don't even know how you do it right. The preferred line's the outside. The inside's going to cook the left sides probably. As look at Dennis Faircloth trying to get that car to rotate.
In the rear end. How about Chris Samar underneath Ray Massey here? This is 6th on the racetrack. Cody Atkins, Alan Dice not too far behind. Massey slides up. Oh, Samar might lose a spot to the 55.
Send it down in the corner. Big dive into turn 3.
Banks on the bottom as well. Bottom maybe starting to come. Oh, Samar gets loose on the bottom there. Comes Atkins. Massey up the wall, to the wall. That stacks up everybody. I think Massey's still going to be even there with Samard. Oh, this is starting to give a little bit of breathing room to Ronas and Turner. And Samard's still on the bottom, trying to find a way around. Like in the day, the bottom seemed better than the night. The top's where you want to be here. Oh, man, they just squeeze each other off to the exit. There comes slide job here for Chris Samard. Almost. Not going to work that time.
Going to have to use the door a little bit.
You're going to have to throw it in there this time.
What a great
there we
battle.
go. It's all-star race. Throw it in there. There you go. Chris throws it in there. He's got to slide up. Can't do it there. He's still going to be even with them. Behind them, Dice and Faircloth side by side. There's another chance at a slide job from Samard.
Yeah, just
Oh,
not.
the 3-1 behind them. Look at that. Off of 2. Banks going to get squeezed in the dump. They almost make contact in the 80. Hits the 35, and they all save it as Samard finally clears Massey, and then now back 3 wide again.
That is not going to work
Banks
for
gonna
very
get by
long.
both, and there's Seth Hatchell.
Yeah,
Right in the middle of all that.
Hatchell did pass Nick Starling. He's been able to move up, and now he's going to go
To the middle he goes.
Yeah, he's been kind of
Henry.
maybe saving his stuff here, pacing himself. He's going to get that spot on Faircloth.
They get harder and harder these passes. Now he's up to Carib. He's almost back inside the top 10.
Yeah, so good start for the 8 machine of Seth Hatchell doing the first challenge.
Good battle here. Look at there's Nick Starling and Dennis Faircloth going at it behind him. Hatchell's going to start attacking Carey here, and behind them, Caleb Weekly, Lyle Sulfrich are going at it.
Ooh, Hatchell, little rub on the door of the 21.
Ooh, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little touch. The top 2 are gone. They are over
And
3
Mahalski,
seconds.
He's under pressure.
Yeah, here's Bailey Turner all over the back of the 03. He's now going to look to the inside.
Hey, he's going to get there. Can he clear is the question.
If he pulls the slide job, not quite able to.
Seem to get it going.
Now, I'd be interested
Bottom's coming alive here as this run keeps going on.
I'd be
Angelo
interested
Ronis.
to see if these guys have been saving a little bit. There
Oh,
goes
my.
Bailey.
Slider. Oh, Mahalski's going to fight back. Turner's going to get him. He's going to shut the door.
Wow.
Mahalski gives him a shove.
You couldn't have put a piece of paper there.
That's Ronis as well. He's closing up. Turner up to 3rd. 4 seconds back. It's a long way to go.
I don't know if they've saved that much. I mean, 20 laps in, 4 seconds back. That's just a lot of time lost. Is now Hatchell looking to the inside of Alan Dice. There goes Banks climbing his way through the field. He'll take the spot away.
Oh. Just going to give a shot here. You're going to have to give me 1 second now because I think my disc will just crash, but it's all right.
Hatchell looking to the inside.
Going at it.
They are
There's a big slider here. Gonna get him. There it is. Hatchell into the top 10.
Took him 20 laps to go from 19th to 10th. He is on the move right now, so keep an eye on that number 8 machine. Looking for other battles throughout the pack. Caleb Weekly, Dennis Faircloth. These guys fighting for 14th and 15th towards the rear end of the field. And Joshua Banks looks to the inside of Cody Adkins. They're going to rub doors. And there's going to be contact. He's going to turn him.
Oh, my goodness. What a hit for Joshua Banks. Oh, man. A heavy hit. And then Cody Atkins behind the wall. And what a wreck for Joshua Banks. About as hard as you can hit.
Yeah, he got turned head on at the exit of the corner.
Oh, my.
Boom.
Oh, right in front of Seth Hatchell. The body parts flying apart. And a hard hit there for Cody Atkins and Josh Banks. Raced over for both of them, and they're both out of the All-Star race.
Everybody else able to avoid just barely out of turn number 2. Huge hits for the 35 and the 55. And like you said, they are done for the evening here. And
we talk about the highs and lows of racing, from winning the longest race last week to out.
First one out.
All-Star race.
Yep.
Yeah, in a certain event. Now here it comes back to cost. Dennis Faircloth. Are they gonna play devil's advocate here and get tires? Or they just getting fuel. I can see Dennis. Oh, Dennis is driving through. Cost driving and getting fuel and getting some damage fixed. But yeah, there's 2 cars already out of the All-Star race. From 19 to 17 cars left, and field staying out. Well, now if you save tires, perfect. You're back up to these guys.
yeah, that is going to be interesting as we get maybe a couple more cautions. There will be some takers. There might even be 2-tire takers at some point, to try and pick up spots on pit lane, but also get a little tire advantage for people that stay out. And I think it could work here if the car feels tight. You could get some rotation out of it if you put 2 tires on. I've seen that work at Martinsville and a few other tracks. You just don't want to go too long on the left sides. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And the question is, how much is the is the temp going to go down? And as we are into the track temp being as cool as it's been all day, it's 79 ambient, 83 degrees track temp.
It continues to fall as the sun has gone below the horizon. It's still Brody Hayes who's led pretty much every lap of this one. And they'll lead us back to the green flag. How about Seth Hatchell? He's going to restart in 8th position. Green flag back out from IRP.
Spin. Here comes Turner to the bottom. Did he save the tires enough? He's going to slide up. So does Turner or Hayes. Right, looking to go to the middle.
Brody able to hang on to it.
Here comes Wright now. Sends it all the way to the bottom. Going to slide at the racetrack. And now Turner going to have to cross over to the bottom and defend from Mahosky. He holds on to 5th. There comes Samartin and Ronis, and Hatchell is up to 7th.
And here goes Jeff Wright trying the strategy.
Oh man, that's gonna get tight later and later as this run goes on. Now, how about Hatchell looking for 6th already, almost to the top 5 in the first 25 laps? That double and up the challenge is looking good for the A. He can get up to the lead.
It's gonna get harder and harder as he gets up here towards the front of the field, but he's working on a teammate, and he is really pushing it there out of 4. Look at that, nearly rubbing doors down into turn 1. Hatchell going to get the advantage. He should be able to clear here.
It's the All-Stars. It's their teammates. The question is, Hatchell to 6. How about Ray Massey, Nick Starlin? Trying to go right out. Here comes Samard with the crossover off underneath here, underneath Hatchell. But then, almost rubbing doors behind them is the 23 and 18.
Yeah, they are rubbing doors out of turn 4. Starling working around the outside.
Oh, rubbing doors there.
He's had a good start to this one, up a couple spots.
Oh, nice. Dice way up the racetrack, Massey down to the bottom, and then there's Carey, there's Dice. They're all going out of here and into turn number 3. They're still down. This is for the 8th position. Massey on the bottom, Starling on the top. How about this? Carey and Dice. That's for 9th on the racetrack is the 18. Oh, contact between the 5 and the 21.
I just door slammed him, hip checked him right there.
Here comes Weekly in the 7.
They kept it perfectly straight. That was really strange. They just kind of like, they hit each other at the same exact time going opposite directions. So it all evened out, so they didn't really lose momentum. But here goes Justin Carey now, potentially going to lose another spot. Caleb Weekly wrapping the top side, and Dennis Faircloth, Nick Gardner behind them going at it.
Those two continuing to go at it, and right now these guys just slipping, sliding around. And how about Carey to the inside of Weekly, and how about Faircloth to the inside of Gardner here? That is for 13th on the racetrack as 80 car pitted that last time, got some more fuel in it, maybe a little more heavy, get a little more rotation in that car, and looks like good. Oh, Carey, big moment again off the corner, battling there with Weekly.
These guys doing battle. I saw Seth Hatchell down low on Angelo Ronis. This would be to get into the top 5.
Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Seth Hatchell has a good enough car to win, and he's looking for that double or nothing prize. I like it. The A car's got maybe the best car here. It'll be hard though. I think Brody Hayes and Josh and Jeff Wright, they got a really good car. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Wright's line is wild. I don't know if it's working, but he's kept 2nd.
We're gonna go on board with him, see what it looks like from inside. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that looks like you shouldn't be able to send it down in there and have any grip at all, but I think it is starting to affect the 48. He is starting to lose some ground now.
Yeah, last time about 2/10 slower that last time, so Turner about a 10th faster. I don't know if that line's going to cut it for the 48. How about, I got to give a shout out to the 03, man. He's got really good pace.
Yeah, he's right up there with Bailey Turner in terms of pace. Hatchell and Hayes, the
he's
two
learning
quickest.
From some of the best too on short tracks too. So every lap he's behind Turner, he's learning.
Yeah, Hatchell was the fastest car the last 2 laps.
That A car has got speed.
Yeah, and he's come from the back of the field too. That's what's so impressive. He's passed 14 cars to get here. I mean, a couple of them kind of knocked themselves out of the way for him, but even still, it's tough work climbing through the field on a short track.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Oh,
Jeff got the wall and a big slide from the 48. He's in the infield. And he's up the racetrack. And here comes Turner to the inside, and that probably not going to be good for the handling of the 48 and the tires. As Turner, Mahosky, and Hatchell now all in this picture. And how about Hatchell to the inside of Mahosky?
I think Jeff is trying to knock the suspension out of it.
Oh, 3 in the wall, 8 in the wall, or 8 sideways, and I think he's going to get him into 1. And he does. I don't know if Mahosky's going to appreciate that too much from the exit, but Hatchell up to 4th, and what a car that 8 is. absolute rocket ship here from the pole all the way to starting 19th. He's up to their 4th already, and there's Samard, some good. How about Nick Starling? Close it up with Angelo Ronis.
Oh boy. As this run goes on, these cars get tighter and tighter, and the exit of these corners are getting closer and closer. And there goes Starling, almost peeking at 3 wide.
Tell you what, Starling got a good car, and that maybe those even that 15 lap of heat race, you get to realize race pace to everybody. You get to see, okay, this is what I need to do for the race, and I think we're seeing that as we are 13 laps in the halfway break, and Brody Hayes a 2.5 lead. I think next segment they're not going to be as nice to each other. And I think Seth Hatchell obviously is going to have a little bit better chance here, as Ronis is going to hold on to Samard here, and Massey and Starling almost making contact. Samard to the inside now, and Starling looking for the position. And Dice has caught these guys as well as Caleb Weekly.
Yeah, I think Chris maybe held on to the bottom lane a little bit too long as he's getting squeezed there on exit.
And there goes Starling by. Starling upset. Massey going to get 8th, and Samard struggling here with handling on the bottom and plummeting down the running order.
And just trying to hang on here, maybe get back in line and salvage some of those positions before the halfway break. So let's take a look.
Get it right here.
Hatchell is closed up to the back of Bailey Turner. He's going to look to the outside.
Man, I don't know what is in that 8 car, but it is so fast. There he comes. Hatchell looking bottom. Oh, we got the wall there on the entrance, and now he's going to go all the way to the bottom. He's going to slide up.
Not quite able to.
Look at the lines. I love it.
They're doing all kinds of different things in these turns here tonight. It is some wild stuff. Nick Starling, big bobble out of turn 4. It's going to open the door for Ray Massey. Here he goes to the inside.
And you got 9 laps here to figure out, get your track position before pit stops here, because pit stops going to be important for that final segment in this race.
And there could be a caution around lap 50, and that would be considered the halfway break. So we'll see if anything happens. These guys are really pushing it pretty hard here. Samard over the back of the 23.
Oh, pushed it a little too hard, I think. There goes Samard. He almost got the wall. Lane Selfridge falls a lap down here, and Brody Hayes breezes past him, and these guys continue to just go at it. And Hatchell's kind of ran into a stalemate here with Bailey Turner, although he looks faster, just can't find a way around him.
Yeah, I mean, he's pushed the car so hard to get to this point, up 15 positions. Eventually going to run out of steam. 40 laps of pushing the car, it's about all it can take, I think. And Seth really good at saving stuff.
Better on the center of the corner is the 8. Rolls so much better. And I think Wright's kind of holding these guys up a little bit. He doesn't have the tires, but he's got the track position, and he's got relatively clean air. Hayes is 2.5 up ahead, and now Turner closed on him. But are you willing to risk that spot here to try to get around him and then allow the 8 to maybe get by you?
Yeah, Seth looking to the outside, almost got position on the right rear quarter panel. And he's going to try and cross him over. No, not able to get the grip out of turn number 4. And we'll be coming back to 5 laps to go before the halfway break.
And the 8 car rolls the center so much better than the 24 and the 8. And if you want to go back to 2006, what a battle this would be. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jr., huh?
Exactly. And speaking of Dale Jr., he's finally getting that 8 trademark once again, so that is awesome. Hopefully he can use it in some way. I talked to Seth about that when I saw him at the Indy 500 there, and he runs that 8, and we can maybe slap that on his car as well. I heard some contact
cool. Here he goes.
Further back.
Hatcher to the outside of Turner. Big development in this race. Gonna have a chance here.
Yeah, Bailey
slides up.
Bailey's not just going to let him go, but I don't know if he can fight him. Seth is just so much quicker.
Hatchell gonna power off. See if he can get right. If he can, Brody Hayes is going to be in trouble.
I mean, Brody's been very good at the front of the field. He's had the clean air though the whole race. It could be very close between these two guys.
Oh, do you remember, Hatchell was technically on the pole, but he didn't start on the pole, and Jeff Wright did, and Hayes was the front row, and they've stayed 1-2 this entire run as Lyle Selfridge gets put 1 lap down here, and Max Cost is going to have to hope he can stay on the lead lap here ahead of leader Brody Hayes, who is still about a straightaway behind. So we'll see as we got 3 laps to go in the stage. And how about this? Nick Starling underneath Angelo Ronis here. Starling, 18 cars, got some speed.
These are a bunch of chase drivers going at it here. All these guys are going to be fighting for the championship.
Oh, Max is going to get there. Big moment there out of Starling, and Rona's doing a good job holding all these guys off, but anyway, Max is going to have a chance here to get that spot away from Nick Starling. Here comes Chris Samard as well, as we are starting 50, and maybe we'll get 50 here.
Not sure
we'll get it probably this time, and look at this, Hatchell. He's caught up to right, but is it going to be enough?
Oh!
Rona's it's cut back. Richard Bolton, they're going around, and that's going to be the halfway caution because the 18 spins in front of the field.
Wow.
And that is a shame for Nick Starling, who was having such a great race going. And there is how the first segment ends as he gasses it up right into the 23 and then bounces off of him again.
Everybody able to avoid him, and he's able to keep it off the wall. So that is, that's good. But losing all of that track position, especially right now when he had all of it right in his hand. Oh. This tight race, and these guys they were fighting so hard for so long. It was only a matter of time. And
they're fighting for everything they got, and here comes everybody to pit road. Bailey Turner stays out.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, Hayden overshot his box.
The Hatchell in cleanly. He should be able to. Well, he could win the battle off. It's all about him or Jeff Wright, I think.
And he's got the number one pit stall right out of pit road.
Better pit stop.
Wright gonna win the race off of pit road. Hayes gonna lose both spots.
Wow.
And how about this? The top three: Turner, Mahowski, Weekly staying out. Sulfridge gets the lead lap, or Lyle Sulfridge, I should say. Everybody else.
That just flips this race on its head entirely. I mean,
brings it to pit lane. So yeah, how about we get a word with Bailey Turner and see what he's thinking?
Yeah, let's pull him up.
Bailey Turner, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VC booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
That was a fun heat race we had earlier, but now the All-Star race, you've led 2 laps so far, but alternate tire strategy here. What are you hoping for in this race?
Hoping for probably a 20 to 30 lap, probably closer to 20 to 25 lap run here, just to kind of get off sequence and see what we can do. Pace was decent, just man, it was tough to pass. So felt like, if we get off sequence with those guys, let them burn up the rubber a little bit, trying to race each other, and hopefully be on the opposite end of that. I was hoping a few more guys would have stayed out. I got a couple guys here with me, but yeah, it'll be tough. We'll see.
I gotta ask you, is there a fear of maybe going a lap down if you don't get going there and get the tires?
Oh, of course. I tried to manage the tires the best I could that run. It was tempting to push and try to pass Jeff, but was trying to just manage my stuff the best I could there and not fall off too hard. So there was a little strategy in that first run of not, going as hard as Brody and Jeff, and we'll kind of see how that goes. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time, but hey, good luck, and we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir.
As I said, I mean, it's winner goes home with the money. No, everybody else goes home with disappointed in an empty bag. So
yes.
we'll see.
Yeah, and Bailey, I mean, he's a smart guy. He's won a lot of strategy races. It could work out, if he gets a caution at the right time here. Even if he doesn't get it at the perfect time, it could still be an advantage for him to have 10 or 15 lap fresher tires.
And Weekly, Turner, Weekly, and Mikulski, they got to be ready because they are going to get swarmed.
Yeah, I didn't see what the lap times were at the end of that run, but they've got to be at least a couple seconds off pace.
I mean, the best laps, they were turning 22. Bailey Turner's a 22.6, right? At the end of that run, he was turning 24.4s and 23.6s. So about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds of fall off. So it's going to be tough. They're going to spin tires here. They got to be careful, and everybody behind them is going to be like a hungry pack of hyenas around I don't know what they call it, but a pack of gazelles. So this is going to be tough. These guys are going to have to hold on here as we got the final segment of the All-Star race. 45 laps, it's pushed to the end, and we're green, and they spin the tires on the bottom. Hatchell gets caught up.
Yeah, Hatchell was not in a good spot. He was kind of boxed in, and Jeff Wright.
They're going to be 4 wide. Hatchell really loose on the bottom. He's losing spots.
There goes Ronas.
Brody Hayes to the bottom of Wright. Wright thins it way too hard on the entrance, but he keeps the lead. How about Angelo Ronas?
Oh, big slide. Look at the opposite lock there for the 29. As he's able to pull up to 4th. Bailey Turner still hanging on.
Swarming around the 7 and the 03. Turner, and how about Angelo Rona's great pace for the 29 to start out this run.
Goes Faircloth to the inside of Mikalski. As these guys continue to drop through the field, which is going to be the case here until they get new tires on, but they're hoping for a caution in the next 10 or 15.
They're hoping to get the opportunity to put new tires on.
And they don't want to be the caution either. I mean, that's... Or I guess you could spit it out.
I mean, I don't know.
They're going to end up probably at the back of the field either way. So maybe take a little scratch your elbow.
Just got hit by Nick Gardner, and I'm a Weekly ahead of his teammate here, but they're going to fall all the way to the back.
Yep.
Of this field, and now that's the caution is going to be up to hopefully what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if these guys are able to hang on to it too. I mean, the tires are going to be really hot. They've gone through the heat cycle. Really old at this point, and there's hard battling further up.
Contact for the lead! Right in hit by Hayes, and now there's damage to the 48 and maybe a broken car!
Take a look at that.
See, Hayes went to the bottom, got loose, and oh my, that is very Gateway-esque of what happened.
I was going to say.
Larson and Kyle Busch.
Almost exactly the same incident, just lost the back end of the race car on turn entry.
He lost the side force underneath, and the 48 is destroyed. He is killed, and look at the right rear is destroyed, and that might be the All-Star race. It's over for Jeff Wright, who has heavy damage and has been very good, and Brody Hayes has significant right front damage.
Yeah, I have a theory of what the 48's doing here.
Oh boy, this might not be good.
Yeah. This could fall into Angelo Ronas' lap once again.
Or Seth Hatcher or Chris Samar, who's not his teammate.
This could fall into Bailey Turner's.
Middle of turn 1 and 2, and Starling is involved in another incident with his teammate, and that might just be what Bailey Turner, Caleb Weekly, and Noah Mahalski needed.
Oh, same situation.
Same situation.
A little hip check.
Guys getting into the back of his teammate.
Able to keep it mostly off the wall, just a little rub with the back bumper.
Not enough laps is the question. That was only 10 laps.
It wasn't even that many because we went green on 55 there.
And Jeff Wright's going to get bailed. They can repair that 48 car, but that car is heavily damaged and I'd say borderline destroyed on the rear end. That car is killed.
Yeah, here comes Bailey.
Turner and Weekly brings it in, but how about this? Mahalski stays out.
Wow. They try and get an even further advantage on tires.
I love a good old race of tire games.
Yeah, I mean,
how about that?
Only one set. You got to use it wisely.
Angelo Ronas in second. How about Seth Hassel, Chris Samard? How about we pull up the guy running in fifth, Ray Massey? We don't really get to talk to him a lot because let's see how what race it was on Ray's mind. Ray Massey, Alex Martinez, Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, man, it's looking very interesting here with the top two getting together. Brody has heavy damage. Jeff Wright looks like might be out of this race with the destroyed race car. How are we feeling with these fresh tires here?
I want to see a longer run. I felt like I was pretty sporty there on the old tires, so I wanted to go green.
I got to ask you, how was the track conditions? It's obviously a lot cooler than the heat races, but how much has the track changed from the heat races to the nighttime where we're at now?
Yeah, it's grippier. Cars turn a little better than it was before earlier, so you can throttle up and really drive it off the corner. So,
well, it's unfortunate, but I wish it was a day race. But hey, it's good under the night every now and then when we got short tracks. And I do got to ask you, hopefully we see you back next week. But I do look forward to asking your opinion. How do you feel about maybe this becoming a regular season race? Do you think it deserves it, or do you think it's a good all-star venue?
Yeah, I think it's a good all-star. I think guys are a little bit looser, don't take it quite so serious. And if you throw points out there, it could be iffy. So I don't know. I like the heat races and doing it that style. So if we do points, I would like to have heat races like that. That was fun.
Absolutely. Hey, well, we appreciate your time, Ray. Good luck the rest of the way here, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Alex.
I appreciate you.
All right, and that is Ray Massey Gonna be starting from the 5th position here. We'll see what he's able to do as we get back rolling in just a moment. It's Brody Hayes, Angelo Ronis on the front row. Green flag back in the air.
Ooh, good start for the 37. Halski spinning the tires. See if Bailey Turner or Caleb Wickley can do anything. Can't Seth Hatchell get the spot away from Angelo Ronis to make contact. Ronis holds on a second. Mahalski sliding around on those 63 lap or 67 lap older tires. And now if you're Hatchell, who might have the best car here tonight, cannot afford to lose another spot to a teammate, but can. Angelo Ronis keep Brody Hayes in check with a little bit of right front damage on the 37.
Very possible in the 29. He is putting that pressure on. Samard was under pressure from Ray Massey, who was looking now to the inside. Here comes Dennis Faircloth with a head of steam. He's working to the outside, trying to break into the top 5.
Yeah, the 80 car's got some pace here. Can he cross over the 23? The 23 does a good job taking that line away. A little slide there from both of them. They keep it going. How about Bailey Turner and Caleb Weekly?
Yeah.
Oh, Faircloth gets into the wall. Look at the 7 and the 24.
They're working down to the inside. They've got the fresh tires. Oh, 3 wide.
Oh, oh no, Weekly's gonna go through the grass. Slide back at the track, but that's gonna lose him ground to the 24, and he's gonna have to work over those positions again.
Really hard battling here in the midfield.
Oh, slide job from Hatchell on Ronis here. He's gonna get the spot for second.
Able to shut the door. Now he's got one more car out in front to complete the last to first challenge. Can he do it? This would be one of the most. That would be one of the most impressive All-Star event. Well, it would probably be the most impressive All-Star event we've ever had to see someone do that. I don't think we've ever had anything quite like that. We've definitely had drivers come through the field in points races and you know, on bigger tracks. But
Samard trying to find a way around, trying to make it an all VSPEED 1, 2, 3 in this All-Star race with 30 laps to go from Indianapolis Raceway Park, or Lucas Oil Raceway, IRP, whatever you want to call it. It's put on a heck of a show here tonight as Faircloth gets the wall. How about Turner up to 7th on the racetrack with those fresher tires?
maybe he's pulled the right strategy here. He's got plenty of time to make up all these positions, but it is going to get more and more difficult as the run goes on. That tire advantage is going to disappear at some point, but here he goes now, looking to the inside of Dennis Faircloth for 6th. Look at the drive.
Easy pass, but the tires just going to overcome it here. There goes Turner right on by the 24. And Turner now 1 spot away from the top 5. He sits 2 seconds behind the top 2 as Chris Samard to the outside of Ronis for 3rd. Ronis going to let him go by, and now Massey and Turner closing up. Massey going to get to the outside of the 29. Both Mustangs battling, but here comes the Chevy up to Bailey Turner.
Wow, Bailey is flying through the field right now. I mean, he's running equal times to the top 2 while making passes, so that is that's the difference on tires. Here he goes to the inside of 29.
Up to 4th. This is going to be interesting. He's got 1 more car to pass to get into the top 3, and then he'll be on the back bumpers of the 2 cars ahead of him, but still a little ways to go.
They are
top 2 separated by a half a second.
They're battling hard back here. Justin Carey, Dennis Faircloth, these guys, very impressive runs tonight up here in the top 10.
Mahalski needs a caution.
Yeah, he is.
He gets it. He's going to be looking really good.
He's 11 seconds behind, but he would have a huge tire advantage. I just don't know if he'd have enough laps left.
I don't know. He'd have an advantage over Turner and Weekly, too, so we'll see. But he needs a caution to come out quick. He'd have probably a 30, 40 lap. Well, he can't have it come out with 10 to go. I don't think that would be worth it, or as clipboard would say, the juice being worth the squeeze. So I don't know. We'll see. As right now, Caleb Weekly's struggling to get by guys here. He's in the 9th, but still a long way to go. Fresher tires, but like you said, the equal is going to come out here soon. How about this? Turn underneath Samard for 3rd.
Wow, this is going to be wild if this strategy does work out. Just, 12 lap fresher tires.
If he got a caution, I mean, he obviously going to have a really good chance at it. Is Weekly and Weekly's Faircloth, Carey going at it. Carey slide job. Faircloth gets almost into him. Here comes Weekly to the bottom.
Oh!
They bounce off of each other. Weekly gets loose. That could be a caution if he doesn't save it right in front of Gardner. Oh, he gets hit again. There's more contact in that caution. Almost coming. Oh, Sterling has a big moment behind.
Wow, Weekly has been through it here since he put the tires on. That's 2 times through the grass. for that number 7 machine, and he's been able to save
that
it.
was the caution his teammates been needing. They get spread out again, and Turner is flying a tenth of a second faster every lap, and I think Seth Hatchell is realizing that because he is starting to catch Brody Hayes.
Wow, yeah, that time it was a quarter of a second faster than the top 2 was Bailey Turner, so he is really putting the pedal down. And we'll see what it looks like at the stripe this time, but it'll be 20 laps to go, and that is plenty of time to make up this gap. But catching him
how much more can he gain?
Yeah, and catching him is one thing. Passing him is a whole different thing.
Absolutely. Has he burned up the tires too much? And especially if these 2 teammates get to racing, it's going to open the door up. And I think we talked about it. Hatchell might be the best car here tonight. He's there. Hayes has led all but, I don't know, what, 10, 15 laps? But right now, he's got a fight on his hands, although he's going to have 2 cars probably behind him.
Yeah, Hayes has led 73 laps out of the 81 that we've completed, so all but 8, and the other ones were Bailey Turner. And I think Jeff Wright maybe grabbed a couple of those as well before he got turned.
Oh, Weekly, gonna put Faircloth in the wall! Oh, well, I don't think Faircloth liked that now. Faircloth's in the wall!
Yeah, this
This
could be interesting.
But Mahoss is going to need a caution soon, very soon. These guys battling for the lead here. Hatchell's there. What an impressive feat it would be if he can win this race. He's all the way to the bottom. Can he make it stick in that 8 car? The 37, Brody Hayes, holds him off. Here comes Turner, that red and black car with the yellow splitter closing into the battle.
And continuing to slice off 2 or 3 tenths of a second per lap. He's now under 3/4 of a second behind Brody Hayes. And these 2 starting to battle is only accelerating that gain. And,
oh boy, look at who they're running up on too. Jeff Wright in that 48 car.
Yeah, this could be...
He's got damage, and you remember what happened earlier in this race, the contact between Brody Hayes and Jeff Wright that sent Wright's car into the outside wall, and you can see the damage that Wright has. We'll see if he plays a factor with this with less than 15 laps to go as Hatchell underneath this teammate here. Brody Hayes going to have to do a whole lot of defending, although Hatchell slides up, and here comes Turner a half a second behind them.
Seems like the closer that Bailey gets, the slower he's starting to go. I mean, he's pushed the
Hatchell's
car.
going to have to complete this pass soon because Turner's there.
He's got the drive. Here he goes.
Slap job on the 37. He gets the spot.
Here comes Brody.
Turner and Hayes trying to cross over from Hayes. Where does Koss go? Koss, they're going to have to split him.
Oh, boy. This is not going to work out.
He's going to get caught up behind both of them. Here comes Turner with the ring. There's contact. There's 3 laps between the last car.
Here comes Bailey Turner to the outside.
And Turner to second. Hayes falls back to 3rd. Bailey Turner with fresher tires against the fastest car on the track.
And then we've got Jeff Wright here in the mix as well. Is he going to try and help a teammate, or? I don't really know. The Hatchell has been so good. He's even able to stretch it out another car length right there after he's gotten clear. So he's got...
These guys hoping there's no caution. There's some hard-fought battling in the top, out just inside the top 10 between the Knicks and Dice and Faircloth, but this is going to hopefully stay green because we got ourselves a battle on our hands. Can Bailey Turner beat the 2-time champion Seth Hatchell, who is looking to get the first ever last to first bonus?
What an impressive drive from him, regardless of if he can hold off the 24. I mean, he is absolutely flying out here, still putting down lap times faster than anyone.
It's going to be hard to see how will they navigate the lap traffic with 10 to go.
Going to be interesting. They're running up on one of the Sulfurage machines.
Sulfurage, and then there's Wright just up ahead, about 5-6 car lengths ahead.
And
Turner, we know he's not going to be afraid to use the bumper either.
Yeah, 10 laps to go for Seth Hatchell and Bailey Turner as they battle it out for the win. Brody Hayes is now falling over a second behind. And then Chris Samard is starting to close up possibly on the 37. He's still about 2 seconds back. Yeah, Jeff Wright right here in front. Damaged race car. He's still keeping good pace in the 48 machine. And it looks like Bailey Turner maybe didn't get the run off the corner that he was hoping for. Trying to find some kind of grip.
And know. Bailey's going to need some sort of help here, maybe from his teammate. Although I don't know if Jeff's going to really get involved if these two race each other. We'll see. He's kept a good gap ahead of Hatchell. Maybe he'll get out of the way with less than maybe 6 or 7 to go, maybe 5 to go. We'll see. And all these guys hoping no caution. Mahalski praying for a caution. He has yet to pit for fresh tires. And how about Bailey Turner on the fresher tires? He worked up to second from all the way to the back. Is it going to be enough to beat and challenge Seth Hatchell? If he can even get to him, will he use the bumper?
Yeah, Hatchell's been able to stay about 4 tenths ahead. He's been able to maintain this gap.
Oh, Weekly and Carey leaning on each other. But Weekly with fresher tires. He's going to get underneath. There's loose side force underneath him here.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
He's going to push
They're
him.
making contact. They're really making contact. Oh, no. Weekly to the wall.
Stays green.
Beat the caution. No caution.
Wow. And Seth
Into the wall
Hatchell.
goes Weekly, and Hatchell going to breathe a sigh of relief.
That's probably the... Well, it's not over yet. I mean, there's still
That's his teammate, though. That's his teammate. But if Weekly gets back up to Carey, I don't know if it's going to be as good.
There's a gaggle of race cars back here, though. This could end interestingly here. And then we've also got Ray Massey and Angelo Ronis. And Hatchell is actually pulling away.
Contact on the back just between Max Costa and Nick Gardner. That was almost a caution.
And these guys got together, was it lap 1 of this race?
Yeah. And now 5 to go, excuse me, for Seth Hatchell, and a half a second gap over Bailey Turner, who does have 10 lap fresh tires, but I think Turner hitting the cliff where they're evening out.
Yeah, Hatchell's just been able to maintain here, running 23 4s and 5s, and Bailey's kind of right in that zone as well. So is Brody, Chris Samard, basically the top 4 running very similar lap times, but yeah, Hatchell has that, somewhat clean air.
Because Faircloth has caught Weekly, who has damage, and that's still a battle as well. There's still possibilities. There's not a lot of opportunity, but there's still chances for what could be a caution. And this 7 car he's got damage. He's got a wounded machine, and he's trying to limp it around.
Mikowski and Sulfridge got together. Jeff Wright goes on by. There goes Hatchell. Kind of a bad spot to catch the lap machine, but he's got enough margin. He's able to clear. 2 laps to go for the 2-time champion. Is he going to be able to get his first All-Star win?
Oh, Faircloth and Weekly are leaning on each other. Needs this to stay green here for Hatchell. He's got a half a lap to go. He's 10 more seconds for these guys to keep it together.
Oh, they are really pushing it, though. Look at Faircloth down low. Hatchell working through 3 and 4. Going to come to the white flag.
Race is official. Seth Hatchell. How about that? Can he do it? He's got a half a second gap over Bailey Turner.
And there's Mikowski right there in front. He's able to stay on the lead lap for this race, but not the way the strategy wanted to fall for him. But how about Seth Hatchell? Got the pole, went to the back. Here he goes, last to first. He's going to do it at Lucas Oil International Raceway Park. Indianapolis Raceway Park. I got that wrong. Seth Hatchell wins it. Too many letters.
How about that for Seth Hatchell?
Wow.
Double or nothing bonus. And he's taking all the cash home tonight as the 2-time champion. Oh, they're crashing across the start-finish line. Weekly finally went around in front of the lap car, Sulfridge. And Starling gets that spot in Weekly back to 10th.
Take a look at the replay there and see what happened with that one. They were battling so hard, 3 wide out of the corner.
Oh, yeah, they just kind of all came together.
Oh, man. I tell you, Caleb Weekly, he was a bit of a battering ram there on that last run.
He was, but he had the tires, and how about that for the 2-time champion, Seth Hatchell. Gonna burn it down at IRP, we'll just call it that. And, man, what a win for him. And Noah Mahalski should have came in with that caution, because that staying out 100-lap-old tires. Didn't even have to use a pair of Goodyears. How about that?
Wow. Incredible run by Seth Hatchell and all these drivers out here tonight. We had 14 left on the lead lap, and a lot of action and a lot of strategy. Everything you could want from an all-star race, and Hatchell takes the win. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to interview him and the rest of our top 3.
Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader, known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs. You can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
We're back at the racetrack now to interview our top 3 finishers in the All-Star race presented by Sailor Tarot Magic. Third place finisher here tonight, Brody Hayes. Alec, I believe you're with him here on pit lane.
Yes, I am. Brody Hayes, Alec Martinez, Anna Baker on the VC booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you led a lot of laps. Lead 77 laps. Get the most laps led there. Had to hold off your teammate and hard charging Bailey Turner. What more maybe did you need to win this race?
I needed to not kill the right front. Once that thing went away, it was game over from that point. So props to Seth. He's always there on the long run. He just did a better job than I did. I wish I could have came away with the W. Had a little run-in with Jeff. I apologize. I wasn't intentional. I felt that was my one opportunity to go get it, and it just got out from under me getting into the corner, and he was there. So that's on me.
Well, it happens. Contact is short track racing, as they say. And want to ask you now, obviously, you come home with third. Obviously, good momentum into the chase. How do you feel about going to the chase? I believe you'll be the 4th seed. How are we feeling for this next couple of strands to race for a championship?
I feel good. We've been consistent all year. We just seem to fall short at the end of these things for whatever reason. I don't know if it's lack of track time or what it is. I just haven't quite figured these things out yet. Hoping we can find something, bring a little bit more speed, and we need some wins to be any type of competitive for the championship. But yeah, still a long way to go. So we'll see.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Brody. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
You guys, as always, all the sponsors, everybody in the league. It's always a fun place to race. You guys do a great job up in the booth. Teammates, they're always, it's a fun thing to do on a Tuesday night. So I enjoy it a lot, and we'll go get them next week.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Brody. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at Atlanta Dega.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you. It's Brody Hayes, third place finisher, and we'll go to second place finisher now. That's going to be Bailey Turner as we get him into the booth. Bailey Turner, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, Bailey, you had the strategy fall somewhat your way. Maybe not quite as many laps run on that previous, after the halfway break as you would have liked, but you had a shot there to close in on Seth Hatchell. Could have used the bumper. What did you need there in the closing laps to catch up to him and go for the win?
Probably not doing 10 slide jobs on the way through the field, just to even, get to those guys. By then, I definitely evened the tires out a bit. And like you said, I wish that run would have probably went like 5 laps longer or so. I felt like, that would have put me in a really advantageous position. But, yeah, unfortunately it didn't fall that way. But, you can't be too disappointed with the P2. Sucks it doesn't really mean anything. But, yeah, if I was close enough, you saw what I did to Alec, right? So I would have maybe gotten a Seth's bumper there, but Seth's always raced me super clean, so I would have made sure to try to do that the best I could without without doing anything too stupid, obviously. So, yeah, congrats to him. That was, I mean, he was obviously the class of the field, qualified pole, drove through the field, and definitely, like I said, class of the field.
Yeah, and you were right up there in the hunt for most of the race, right? Led 5 laps. You were running top 3 the entire race, other than your strategy call to go and get the tires later on. But great season for you in the regular season. Your second seed going into the chase. How do you feel about going to Atlanta next week and kicking things off there?
I would have felt a heck of a lot better if it wasn't for that the points bonuses that Jeff got going into the playoffs. It was pretty demoralizing to see me go from a 2-point lead before the playoffs to a 1-point gap to all of a sudden it's up to like 16. So we got a steep climb ahead of us. Obviously, Jeff is always class of the field as far as guys on speed. Really good teammate. Always races everybody pretty fair. So it was unfortunate to see him get wrecked tonight. I thought he might have had a chance at it, but yeah, it'll be a tough battle. There's a lot of good guys like I just mentioned, Seth, Brody. I think Banks said he wasn't going to run, so I'm probably blanking on a name or two. Obviously, Angelo can kind of sneak up out of nowhere and put together really solid points finishes. So we'll see. I think my average finish up until this last race or so was like second. So if I can keep that average finish a second, I'd say I have a pretty good shot going forward. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I would say so. If you can average second on out from here, that would be very, very impressive. And it is no small feat to get even a top 5 in this league. So again, you come away with a runner-up here, but a very, very strong race, and you almost had the strategy fall perfectly for you. But runner-up tonight at IRP. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, teammates over at Sad Boys. Obviously, everybody here at BTDY to kind of put this all-star race on. We appreciate it, and you guys over in the broadcast booth. It was crazy seeing all those VSPEED cars up front. I felt like there was some VSPEED magic going on there for a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what Seth had here tonight. I mean, he's been to the Indianapolis area a few times. Maybe he just gleaned something from his time in the area or something. I don't really know, but he was very fast, and you gave him a run for his money though here tonight. So great run once again, and I'm sure we'll see you competing for the win next week at Atlanta. So go celebrate, and we'll catch you next week.
Appreciate it. And make sure, Alec, next time we have an all-star race, you're the in-race reporter from the actual car, not the booth. Come on.
Okay, but okay.
All right, that is Bailey Turner, second place finisher. We're gonna now go to our race winner, and that is Mr. Seth Hatchell. Alec, I believe you're with him in victory lane.
Yes, sir. Old 2-time is now another win in the bank. It's this time for money to go in the bank there. Double or nothing bonus winner. Seth Hatchell, how do we feel, brother?
Feeling really good. Didn't know what sort of speed I was going to have tonight. Just happening up to land on the pole, and I didn't even know this double down deal they had going on. Nick hollered on the radio, said, "Hey, you want to do it?" And I said, "Sure." And yeah, just was fortunate to get a couple cautions that first stint, and I seem to be running a pretty different line than most other people. I thought other people would sort of catch on to it, and I think a couple people did, but was making passes here or there. I still didn't think I necessarily had winning speed, but definitely benefited by the fact that Brody and Jeff got together there at the end and came away with the victory.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. And I got to ask you now, we go from All-Star to the chase at Atlanta or Atlanta Dega, really, and big momentum boost, I'm going to assume, for the chase. How do you feel about going out there and seeing what you can do?
I feel really good. This definitely is a big momentum and mostly confidence going into that race. That race is going to have a lot of unknowns. And honestly, it's probably the biggest race of the chase to start, of course, because it's so easy to get taken out in somebody else's mess, and then it could really define your chase. So really got to focus there. Really got to hit my marks. Make sure I stay out of trouble. And if we can get out of there with a decent points day, we'll have a shot at the championship.
For sure, and we know that you've done it twice before, and I know you're looking to make it 3. So we appreciate your time, Seth. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here for the win?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys doing a great job with the VSPEED brand and the broadcast and the whole deal. You guys do a fantastic job. Got to thank Nick, all the admins doing a great job running this league, and all the sponsors that hop on board. Let's do what we do. Got to thank all the drivers putting on great racing for everybody to watch, and my team VSPEED.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Seth. Again, congratulations on the win. Go celebrate, and we'll see you next week out at Atlanta.
Great win,
Yes,
Seth.
sir. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
And that, Hatchell. Sorry.
Yeah, Seth Hatchell from Victory Lane. First
what a
All-Star
win.
win for the two-time champion, and he's going to celebrate this one here tonight. As we will go through the rest of our results here tonight from IRP. And what a race it was. 100 laps around this short track with the heat races setting things up for us. Seth Hatchell goes from winning the pole to starting in the back and charging all the way through to capture the win after 4 cautions and only 4 total lead changes. He made the final lead change and held on to it. Bailey Turner going to come home in second after calling a strategy audible and not quite able to get the win out of it, but comes home runner-up. Brody Hayes finishes in third. Chris Samard going to come home with a strong 4th place finish. Angelo Ronis going to come home with a top 5. Ray Massey finishes 6th. Justin Carey finishes 7th. 8th is Dennis Faircloth. 9th was Nick Starling. Rounding out the top 10 was Caleb Weekly.
And in 11th was Nick Gardner. 12th, Alan Dice. 13th, Jeff Wright. 14th, Noah Mahovsky. 15th, Lyle Solfridge. Lane Solfridge, his brother, comes home 16th. Max Cost, 17th. Cody Atkins, 18th. Joshua Banks, 19th. Yours truly didn't even start the race and finished on 20th.
Yeah, there you go, Alec. You at least get scored for it. You did grid up there initially, but yeah, good run there. And great job in the heat race, by the way. But how about that Seth Hatchell and what kind of momentum you think that going to give him as we go into the chase now?
Momentum is real. Momentum is real. Look at Christopher Bell in the Cup Series. I think that's going to be very interesting to see what happens here very soon. And when this race goes, I think it's going to be very interesting. This chase is going to be something to really look forward to. I cannot wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, we'll be there with next week, but I am looking forward to watching it. And I think this chase is going to be one for the ages.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting one. They're all going to have to try and track down Jeff Wright, who was again strong here this evening before getting into a little bit of contact there with Brody Hayes. And he'll be back next week to try and get back into victory lane. He's got 4 wins this season, trying to get another championship to his name. It should be a lot of fun. Make sure to tune in next week right here on VSPEED for the Below the Double Yellow Racing Series. As always, my name is Adam Baker, along with Alec Martinez. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.